What's up, YouTube? Bandit back with you again on another video. I got two boxes here, one from Advanblack here on the right, one from Custom Dynamics here on the left. And gonna go ahead and open these up and show you what I got. Alright, so as usual in every Advanblack box you have the thank you note. There's a QR code if anybody wants to scan that with their phones. And then the stop, making sure that you check the product before you install it for any defects. And as expected, very nice packaging done by Advanblack. And their sticker that they always send you. It looks like a little bag of wire ties that you'll put on the inside for all the wires to the tri-bar light that goes back there. This is going to be the rear fender extension. Color match to the snake venom. Quality of it, everything looks good. So this is going to go right here, and so with this it adds a little bit of an extension to the bottom as well as more in here. So you don't have this big gap that you do on the inside of the exhaust pipe. It'll kind of fill that a little bit. And then additionally, this doesn't have holes cut out like the stock one does, where that rubber grommet is, or there on the left side where the antenna used to come up through. So that way it will cover that hole that is in there. So I'll show you what I got in Custom Dynamics box. Alright, so you have a product catalog for all Custom Dynamics products that they make. And then we have their run brake LED tri-bar light that I'll be installing onto this new fender extension. So the stock tri-bar light on the back of the Street Glide is not a brake, it's only a run light. So this one will now also get brighter when I use the front or rear brake. And as you see, I got this in smoked. So we'll go ahead and open this up. And there's your light. So today we'll be installing both of these parts on the bike, as well as, since I'll have that fender extension off, and I'll have the bike up in the air, we are going to also remove this eyesore of a reflector. So in order to remove that, you have to get up under the fender. So since I'm gonna have this removed, it'll give me a little bit more space to get up in there. The bike will be up in the air, so hopefully it'll give me a little more space between the back tire and it to get everything removed with the suspension unloaded. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this bike up in the air, get everything off that needs to be off right now. All right, there you go. Bike's up in the air, got the saddlebags off, got the tour pack off. So on the inside of this one, you are going to have 3 nuts. Same thing on the other side that we will loosen to be able to pop that out. And then underneath, so here is the tri-bar light. We need to remove that cover, unplug it, and then if you see right there, there's a nut that we have to undo. So we're gonna go ahead, pop off this cover here. And then we're going to disconnect that wire and that wire. So it's got a clip on both the top and the bottom. Just undo both of those. All right, there's the right side. All right, Now that's unplugged. That little nut that is right there, that the light is on, holding that wire. You have to loosen that. So you don't have to take it all the way off, but you do have to loosen it because this metal bracket that you see running around in there actually locks the bottom of this fender extension into place. So that is going to be a 7/16. So I'm just going to get up in there real quick and loosen that one. We are going to remove those 3 nuts right there. And then going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So now that we have those 6 nuts loosened, in here you'll see a wire, this wire, if you can see that in my hand, that runs up along the inside of this fender. So all we're going to do is pop it out of its little loom that it's in, or the little clips that hold it in. So there's 2 little clips. So you just pop that out. Now that wire's out of the way. And now we can remove this rear fender extension. This should easily pop off to the left and right, and then slide off and down. And there we go. Fender extension removed. So, since I'm not going to be reusing that light, don't really need to do anything with it. I'm going to check the back of the other light and make sure that this, at least the back portion, see if that's needed. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so that bracket is not needed, the plugs are integrated. However, I will need to pull the screws out that hold the light in to reuse those onto this new one. So you're going to need to remove that screw and that screw, which are both T25 Torx. So I'm going to do that right now. Now those are removed. We are going to take our new custom Dynamics light, pull off that cover, slide it down into this tri-bar grooves, and the bottom has, if you can see, has these 2 little clips to clip into those 2 holes. Alright, so I'm running into an issue where it's not lining up with this custom Dynamics tri-bar light. It lines up with the stock Harley one, which is weird because this one lines up perfectly on the stock Harley fender extension, but doesn't line up on this one. This, like I said, this lines up, the Advanblack holes line up with the stock Harley tail light or tri-bar light, but not perfectly. They're still slightly off, but this is a lot more off. So I'm gonna see if I can just make this work. Alright, so I was able to get it to work. You just kind of have to angle it out to get the screws to line up and then screw it down as one. But there's the tri-bar light installed on it. So was able to get it to work. So now that we have that installed, before I put this back on the bike, I want to remove this gaudy reflector off the back. So now that we have a lot more room with everything out of the way, we'll get back up underneath this bike. And you'll see you have 2 large bolts up there that you will have to remove to actually remove the entire brake light assembly, and then this screws off the back of the brake light assembly. So figure out what size those are and we'll get to it. Now that we have those two removed, this is just hanging freely here. So sorry about that, GoPro battery died. So as I was saying, there's just two T25 screws on the back side that we have to remove, and that reflector will come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, then we just pull that reflector off, and then your license plate bracket is held in with the same two screws, so you do have to put them back in once you remove that reflector. Now that's reinstalled. Lift it back up. Line your holes back up. Your screws and get them started. Now I'm going to clean up in this area before I put the fender extension back on, just to kind of get some of that dirt and everything out of there with some wireless wash. Alright, so now that we did a quick wipe down, we're going to go ahead and put this new fender extension onto the bike. So just like before, all we're going to do is slide this up. This has flex to it, so you can get it over those top ones. So we're going to pull it out just slightly, slide it up behind everything, get that bottom tucked up under the fender there. And then I'm just going until I get everything lined up to where it's supposed to be. Make sure that your fender is going underneath that metal bracket, which it is. And we're just going to keep slowly sliding this up into position. Pop those on. This one needs a little bit higher. There we go. Make sure all of these are in place. And they are. And then just press up right here in the center. Make sure that is fully seated at the bottom. Alright, then all we're going to do is put our 3 nuts back on each side. Just do it loosely until I get all 3 on each side, and then I'll come back around to tighten all of them down. Alright, there it is, all tightened on. So now you just have to get back up underneath, plug back in our lights. So you just take this one, slide it in, alright, so that one's on. Now bring this one back around. And same thing. Alright, now that those are plugged back in, we're just going to turn the bike on. And there it is. Tri-bar light lit. Turn that down. And then I will set you guys here. See that tri-bar light. And I'll step up here. So hopefully, I can't see it and pull it at the same time. Hopefully it is lighting up as a brake light like it's supposed to. One more thing before I get everything reassembled that I forgot to do is that wire right here that we pulled out of the clips off the old fender extension. We have to add clips to this one to keep that wire stationary. So all I'm gonna do is open up the little bag of clips that they gave me. It was clipped in there with 2 before, so I'm just gonna put 2 back on it. And then I'm gonna peel the backing off of both of them. Take this first one, spin it around. Feel where the wire has some tension, which is right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and press that one in. Hold it for a couple seconds. Same thing with the next one. All right, that's in place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the bike back together. Be right back. All right, guys, there she is, back together. So what do you guys think of that Advanblack Rear Fender Extension? So as you see, like I said, it fills that hole there with the exhaust pipe a lot better. It arcs in where the other one kind of would come down and just join and then come straight down, and the whole fender extension ended about right here. So this adds another 2 inches or so, and it fills that void quite nicely. And reflector gone. I think it cleaned up the look of the back of the bike pretty nicely. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you got any questions about anything, go ahead and leave those as well. And if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't. And as always, stay safe out there, keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you on the road. Bandit out.